Adam was sitting right there, and the look on Adam's face, oh my god, he was shocked. Poor soul, he was shocked.
Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's bump update. It's your girl Nats, and I hope everyone is happy, healthy, and doing okay as usual. So it is week 25 of pregnancy, and I sound, or I look as congested as I sound. I have been battling what seems to be a cold for the past few days. It is horrible and I cannot breathe. So bear with me throughout this video because I'm still trying to film this video so that I can get it out for you guys in a timely manner. So please don't mind how I sound. I'm just battling, you know, some symptoms this week. Anyway, welcome to week 26 of my bump update. We are slowly winding down out of the second trimester, and that is exciting plus scary plus, I don't know, anxiety feeling, because entering the third trimester means that you are super close to meeting baby, and it's a mixture of emotions for me. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I am all of the things, to be honest. So yeah, I think I have like 2 more weeks in my second trimester, and then I will be counting down to baby. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nate. Please call me Nats. On my channel you find motherhood, lifestyle, and homemaking content. Let us jump into this week's updates. Okay, so in terms of baby's development this week, baby is the size of an eggplant. I don't know why I laughed when I said eggplant, but let us move on. And baby is 13 inches long and about 1.5 pounds, so 1.5 pounds right now. As for baby's development, the app says that baby's lungs are gearing up to breathe, and the baby's outer skin is pink. Baby's nose has started to work, and the baby is practicing like practice breaths basically. Yes, and by nose starting to work, it means that baby is now practicing, you know, short breaths that he is going to be taking once he is outside of the womb and all of that stuff. For right now, I think his oxygen comes through me, and the fact that I am hardly able to breathe right now, I'm super worried, but I'm just trying to remain positive that he's getting what he needs. And if there is a problem, I'm sure he will let me know based on how I'm feeling, and I can go to the doctor if necessary. Yeah, and the app basically tells me or clarifies the fact that there is no air inside of my uterus right now, so the baby is basically breathing in amniotic fluid, which is like water, and you know, if we breathe in water, that is terrible. So babies are really like, they have superpowers, man, super skills, right? It's saying that it's the practice that counts. So even though the baby is not breathing in air, practicing breaths anyway is all that really matters, because they'll be using it once they are outside of the womb. And the app is also saying that baby could be able to smell various scents in the uterus by this week, and if not this week, it's a sense that will be developed in the third trimester. So baby is developing based on what the app is saying. And by the way, if you are also pregnant and you're wondering what app I'm using the What to Expect app. I think it's a very good app for, you know, just keeping track of stuff and seeing possibly where you're at, how your baby is developing, stuff like that, to give you a little peace of mind, especially during times when you are not actually going into appointments to see baby. I do have updates for you based on me, because I just had my prenatal appointment maybe 2 days ago at this point. And yeah, so I have stats. At this point, I am weighing in at 71 kilograms, and I started out at I think 60 kilograms, which means that I have gained 10 kilograms, which if I convert that, let me convert that on Google really quickly. and that is a whopping 22 pounds that I have gained in 25 weeks of this pregnancy. To be honest, I am just trying to keep a straight face while talking to you guys. That is really scary for me. I have never had so much weight on my body since I know myself, so it is very scary, and I very often think about, you know, how it's going to go away after the baby. Although I know that majority of the weight that I'm gaining just really has to do with the baby growing, the placenta inside, the boobs. Like I can, guys, like I said, these updates are typically TMI, and guess what? My hair has never been this big in my life. It is frightening when I see myself. I'm like, what the hell are those? I have never had big busty area. I was always small, and I had to wear like cupped bra to give it a little, you know, just a bigger appearance there, because I really had none. And so I feel as if a good portion of this weight gain that I have been gaining, like, this area attributes to it a whole lot, because I swear my boobs have tripled in size, maybe quadrupled in size at this point. And then of course there's the baby growing, the placenta, as I said. So those things attribute to a good portion of the weight that I'm gaining, but still when you see the numbers climbing on the scale, it kind of feels ridiculous and as if it is not going to get better. So that is where I'm standing at right now. Okay, moving on to moments of this week. Best moments, worst moments, in between moments. This week was full of activities, I tell you, full of activities, and majority of them were best moments. I have them written down in my phone. So I had my doctor's appointment this week, which means that I got to see the baby, and the baby is doing so well. The doctors, like my new doctors, oh my god, at this hospital I feel so much better than the one I was going to in Tokyo. Just the doctors talked to me through, you know, the ultrasound, saying, pointing out the eyes, the nose, the ears, the heart, ensuring that there are 4 chambers of the heart, like stuff like that. And that is really comforting to know. I did not get that in Tokyo. As I said in a vlog that I did, I felt as if my appointments in Tokyo were kind of rushed, and the doctor just did not have time, because she was just trying to get rid of me to go to her next person, you know what I mean? So the care was not the same. And yeah, this time I'm so comfortable. Adam also got to come to the appointment, which means that he also got to see the baby. And at this hospital they also record the ultrasound, so when we get home we can log in on our page and we can watch the ultrasound again, you know, after like maybe next week when we start, you know, getting lonely and, you know, wondering, we can just watch the ultrasound again and be reminded that, yeah, there is a baby in there just the same, you know, see his little face and all of that stuff. So that was very good this week. Another good thing that happened this week is that I had my dentist appointment, my dental appointment, my prenatal dental appointment this week, and it was very good to know that everything is fine with like my gums and my teeth, apart from the fact that I do get a little bleeding when I brush, but the doctor said it is not due to like a gum disease or anything. It's just the way that I brush, so I need to pay keen attention to how I'm brushing my teeth to ensure that I am not irritating my gums to cause it to bleed. And yeah, that was also good news, because as you know, during pregnancy all kinds of stuff is happening, you know, inside of the body, and a part of that is your mouth and your gums. They become more fragile to diseases and all of that stuff during pregnancy. So it is recommended that you visit the dentist at least once during pregnancy and then once postpartum. So I had my prenatal one and everything was good. So once I have the baby, I will try to get in my, you know, postpartum dental check to see if anything changed, to ensure that I remain healthy. And yeah, in Japan, it is even in my pregnancy book, which I'm going to be doing a video with all of the things you need to know when you get pregnant in Japan. I'm not sure how many of you will actually be getting pregnant in Japan, but just in case you are pregnant or you just want to know how the pregnancy aspect of Japan works, I'll be doing a video covering all of that, showing you the maternal book and all of that stuff that they do, the checks in, stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that video. If it is up already, I will link it up here in the iCards. If it is not, keep a lookout, so subscribe so that you don't miss that video. Adam and I also had to do a date night. We celebrated our second wedding anniversary, which I'm not even sure if I mentioned this in last week's update. I'm not sure, but yeah, we celebrated our second year wedding anniversary. We went to Tokyo Sky Tree, we went to Hard Rock Cafe to have dinner. It was such a lovely place to eat some good food. And we also visited the Tokyo Olympic Stadium. We did not get to visit the stadium in the thick of the Olympics just because Adam was working and I'm the only one that was on summer break, so we had to do that once he got some time off. But yeah, we got that done. We got some really nice pictures. It is really a big deal to be able to say you were living in Japan when the Tokyo 2020 Olympics were being held. I will forever hold on to that memory. I think it is so special. And another good thing that happened this week was the fact that I got to put together the little baby area, like where his clothes are going to go, where his stroller is going to go, and just reorganize my office to facilitate us sharing that space. Because as of right now, we live in a 3-bedroom house, but it is really just divided into a master bedroom and 2 offices, one from my office and Adam's office. And my office is the smallest of the 3 rooms, and so with a window as well. And so I figured I wanted to share the office space with the baby. For the first couple of months, baby will be room sharing with us, and then, you know, after that we will transfer him into a crib in my office space. So as of right now, I'm thinking I'm going to be sharing the office space, so part office and part nursery. I'm not going to be doing like a full room decorated nursery for the baby because we do not plan to stay in Japan for too long. We are planning to be out of Japan very soon, so we do not think it is a financially wise idea to spend money to decorate a nursery only to pull it down in a couple of months or maybe at least a year. I just don't think we should do that. So right now we're thinking we're going to just share the room between me and Babyflex. Of course, things might change and we could decide to give Babyflex the entire office space, and then Adam and I will share his office. But for right now, I'm thinking I want to still remain in my office while sharing the room, because he will only be sleeping in there. So, you know, and it's not going to be a full-on nursery because it is not our forever home, or it is not a home that we will be in for a long period of time. So I just don't feel as if I need to go all out to create this Pinterest worthy nursery. So that is the plan right now. So I got his drawers that we're going to be putting his clothes into, all of that set up, and then all of the gifts from the registry are starting to come in. So, you know, things are actually looking like there's a baby on the way for real. It's no joke at all. And that was very exciting. I saw worst moments this week, you guys. At my appointment, even though the appointment was good, we did get some bad news. Nothing to do with the baby or me. We are fine. But up until now, my hospital has been okay with husbands being present at the birth. That is one of the, I would say, mission statement kind of thing at my hospital, is that they encourage fathers being present at the birth. So it wouldn't be a problem if it was not a pandemic. You know what I mean? And up until now, they were allowing husbands to be at the birth. But at my recent appointment, they did say that as of August, right now, husbands are not allowed at the birth. They can attend the birth online. So I guess they have their system set up so Adam will be able to, like, you know, video call in and watch all of that. And even though that is sweet, it is not the same because I have plans for my birth. And I do plan on laboring at home for as long as I possibly can, as long as it is safe to labor at home. That is what I plan on doing. But still, I was really looking forward to the fact that Adam would be there with me in the hospital. Adam would be there to see his son being born and all of that. And as of now, they're saying that is not going to happen. But I still have a few months to go, and so I am just hoping that this pandemic gets under control so that the rules change again and just in time for my birth. You know what I mean? Because it's really difficult to go through that not having your only support person. I don't have anybody else in Japan. It's just me and my husband here. And it is just sad that your only support person is not allowed to be in there with you. But you know, as a peace offering to that rule that they have now come up with, they said that if after the birth everything is going fine, then you are allowed to leave early. In Japan, typically after childbirth, you stay in the hospital for up to 4 nights if you had a vaginal birth, and then up to 6 nights if you had a C-section. That is the standard. So for the first week of the baby's life, you are really in the hospital. It is not a you have baby today and you're discharged tomorrow. They really keep you in there to keep an eye on you, ensure that everything is okay, check on baby, teach you how to breastfeed, getting all of this stuff under control. They do that. That is the typical standard of care here for postpartum. But they're saying, since as the husbands won't be able to, you know, be there for the birth, they're saying if everything is okay after birth, maybe a day or whatever the case may be, then they will discharge you. So at least I'll get to go home early, but it is still not the same as your husband witnessing the birth. So I'm really hoping that that rule changes by the time I am about to have a baby. So yeah, that was not a good news for me to hear this week. And the other thing that happened at this appointment was that the nurse asked me if I planned on breastfeeding or bottle feeding, and of course I want to try breastfeeding. Not that I prefer one or the other. I strongly believe in whatever works for me and my family. That is what I'm going to do, whether it be breastfeeding or bottle feeding or combination feeding. It really doesn't matter to me as long as my baby is fed and healthy and growing and developing as they should. It is fine by me. But I do want to try breastfeeding first. And so when the nurse asked me which I plan to do, I told her breastfeeding, and then she asked to, you know, just examine my breast area, and she examined it and it looked fine. It's okay. But she was also telling me that I need to massage the areola area, so the black area on your breast, because yeah, that's where the baby is going to be sucking. And since I'm a first time mom, you know, I'm not used to that kind of motion on my bust area. So she's saying to soften the area a little bit for it to be more conducive to breastfeeding. I need to massaging it. I told her I don't know how to massage it, and she said okay, she's going to show me. And oh my god, it is the most painful thing that I have ever felt in my life. And I know labor pains are going to be much worse, but for right now, this is the worst pain that I felt in my life. She was like doing all kinds of stuff with my areola area, and it was painful. Even now, sitting down talking to you guys, my breasts are sore. They're sore. I can't, like, the clothing being on it. I'm so happy that the bra that I'm wearing is a super comfortable bra, but that was hot. And when she was like massaging it and squeezing the nipples as if you were squeezing, I don't know, something, she was like squeezing it, and I saw what looked like water come out of the breast. I guess that's my body preparing to produce milk. But it wasn't milk, and it wasn't colostrum either, but it was like it was clear, and that came out of my breast. And Adam was sitting right there, and the look on Adam's face, oh my god, he was shocked. Poor soul, he was shocked. And yeah, that was painful. So definitely that warranted being called a worst experience of this week. Symptoms and sickness this week. As for my symptoms and sickness, this is what it is. I don't know if you can tell by listening to me that I am super congested, I am stuffy, I am sneezing, and I'm just really uncomfortable in my face. and you know, with my breathing reflexes right now, because I have been getting a cold for the past few days and it has not been fun to get relief. Cravings and or aversions. Because I have been having a cold for the past couple days, I haven't been having any cravings or aversions. I'm really just eating because I know I need to eat. So I eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, not much else, because simply there's no appetite to eat anything because I'm just feeling sick and tired, you know, just fatigued. Weird food combination, still no weird food combination, especially in this week when I'm not even interested at all. There is none of that. Okay, movement for this week. Yes, the baby is moving like crazy, and I may sound weird for saying this, but comment down below if you at least agree with me that even though baby movements are fun to feel, to be honest, some of the types of movements that babies do inside there can be very just uncomfortable and painful. So I guess because the baby is growing and baby is starting to, you know, occupy more and more space in the womb as he grows, I'm starting to feel more defined movements, and to be honest, some of them have become really painful to the extent where I have to like pat my stomach in a certain way just to encourage the baby to move out of that position where he's at, because it is just uncomfortable. I'm getting kicked in my ribs, I'm getting kicked in my bladder, and I'm just getting some really big roly-poly movements that they really don't feel the best, you know. It is good, and I'm happy that I have an active and a baby that is moving, but some of the movements aren't comfortable, some of the movements aren't fun, some of the movements are painful, and I would rather not have those types of movements. I like the movements that I was getting before he was this big and running out of space, to be honest. And as of right now, the baby loves my left side and like exactly on top of my bladder or in my bladder. One night this week I felt the baby kick, and I was sitting down and I could have sworn the foot went straight through my womb and to my butt. I felt a kick, and I could have sworn I felt the kick just go right through my body to the seat that I was sitting on. It was so strong, it felt as if I got kicked in my butt. But you know, so yeah, those are the types of movement. Baby likes to stay on my left side. I have yet to feel baby on this side of my belly. I don't know why, but I've never feel a kick on this side of my belly. I mostly feel kicks on this side or, you know, on my bladder, as I said, which makes me want to pee all the time. So that it's just not fun. It is nice, but it is nice to feel that your baby is moving, but it's not fun, the feeling of some very hard and uncomfortable movements. Anything making me queasy or sick this week? Not queasy, not sick, but I'm just over having cold symptoms. I really just want it to stop. And to be honest, I realized that I have started doing like ice scratching and all of that stuff, the exact same things that I was doing back in Jamaica when I had my allergy problem, where I'll just have a cold and I'll be rubbing my eyes and my eyes would get so red. I realized that I started doing that, and in the 3.5 years that I have lived in Japan, my allergy has not been a factor. To be honest, it hasn't affected me in so long, so much to the fact that I am saying that wow, Jamaica really has had an impact or an effect on just my allergy symptoms not going away and stuff like that. Because when I'm in Japan, I'm fine, and then when I visited Jamaica in 2019, I started with, you know, the sneezing and the rubbing eyes and all of that. I'm like, okay, Jamaica is the problem, okay? But no, I have started to do that, so I'm just really over being sick. I just want to get back to my regular immune system at this point. Am I happy or moody? This week it's been a mixture of happy and just plain sad, simply because, as I said, we got bad news from the hospital regarding Adam's Adam being present at the birth. That was not good news to hear. So of course I had to come home. I was having a difficult time wrapping my head around that, you know, thinking about being alone in the hospital, plus, you know, just doing that without his presence there in the hospital with me. That was rough. And then of course for the most part it was me being happy. So this week was a good week because mostly good things happened, but there was that one little information that we got that it's not fun to hear. I really want Adam to be able to come to the hospital and witness the birth of our first baby. Okay, and the last thing that we're doing in the update is of course giving you a belly shot as per usual. So let me show you. And I look like a potato. And my nose is spreading so far across my face. It's unbelievable. I said to myself that I haven't had super changes to my body being pregnant, and then I took a picture and I looked at my nose and I'm like, wow, I have the pregnancy nose. I definitely have it. It probably is not as spread, but it's definitely there. Alright, so this is the 25-week belly. This is it from the side. This is it from the front. The navel area has sorted itself out. I realized that this is just how my navel is built, and it is in fact out. It is just not pointed because this part is just naturally flat. And then this is from this side. So we still have a little round bump going on for me, and I still do not feel big. I don't feel big. As a matter of fact, I feel small for being 25 weeks, and I'm interested to see how big I'll get until the baby comes. I hope that I don't get too big because I feel as if I'm short anyway, so you know, having a big of a stomach probably would be a lot for me to carry around, but we will see. And that is the end of this week's update. It was a longer update than usual. I hope you guys understand that I had many things to catch you guys up on in this week's update. And if you are pregnant, please leave your thoughts and your comments down below. I would love to hear from you. The community would love to hear from you. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a video. Until next time, see you in my next video, guys. Bye.
Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. I feel so free. Oh, my sweet baby.